today we are going to be reading Christmas books for an entire week. It is exactly 1 week and 1 day till Christmas Eve, and I always want to read Christmas books on the lead up to Christmas Day, so that is what we're going to be doing. If you're new here, my name is Gabrielle and I read all things romance, cowboy romance, fantasy romance, and I'm also an aspiring author. I really wanted to film it earlier when I was reading How My Neighbour Stole Christmas, but there was a house alarm or a car alarm going off outside and it was driving me insane. But I did manage to finish it, so I'll talk about that now and then I'll get into the books that we're going to be reading this week. It is on Kindle Unlimited and I am so impressed with this book. It was so cozy and so Christmassy and cringy and funny and sexy, just what I wanted from the book. It's like a play on How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Everything worked about it. There's little poems at the start of every chapter that are very similar to Dr. Seuss vibes. And also sometimes we have the narrator talking to the characters and things. It was actually very entertaining. And the spice. I started reading this because everyone was like, what this man does with a candy cane, and I had to know what he was doing with a candy cane. I absolutely had to know. Overall, this is probably one of my favourite Christmas books that I've ever read. I always make an effort to try and read like 2 to 3 Christmas books a year, so that is very high up on the ratings. Now we're on to The Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore. This is the third one in the Dream Harbour series and I'm very excited to read. If you haven't read the Dream Harbour series, the first one is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. You've probably heard of that one. The second one is The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, and now we're on to the third one, The Christmas Tree Farm, which is the perfect book to be reading at this time. I'm hoping it's Christmassy. Last year I read Love Light Farms, which again was set on a Christmas tree farm, but it wasn't set around Christmas time. I didn't really get much Christmas. I'm hoping that there is Christmas in this. I was just getting myself set up for a cozy night of reading. As I said, I'm going to be reading The Christmas Tree Farm. I've got my Kindle and my little stand. This is like my favourite thing ever. I will have it linked because it is genuinely the best. I always like to set the scene, so I've got my pink lights on, which I love. I'm going to put on a little reading ambience. I'm going to try and find a Christmassy one that I like. I have found this one. It's just like a snowy scene with a cozy fire. I think that's pretty vibey, and I've got my pink lights on and I'm just loving for the vibes right now. I also always read on dark mode when I've got everything set up like this. I just think it's easier on the eyes and it saves me putting on a big bright light. So my camera died, but we're back with an outfit change. I've had my dinner. We're back and we're going to be sitting and reading, but let me just tell you how far I've got through. So I'm about 11% in. What I'm getting is the vibe that the Christmas Tree Farm owner is like running away from her life. This has been like a very last minute dream that she's had to buy a farm and then live off the land, but she's bought a Christmas tree farm that's all run down. Our main character is called Bennett and he is Jeannie from the Pumpkin Spice Cafe's sister, and he is just visiting for a month for Christmas. So that is basically what's happening at the moment. So I'm gonna keep reading and see how much I can get done tonight because my husband's out, so I'm distraction free, so I need to force myself to read. The tumble dryer is on, which is kind of ruining the vibe, but we move. God, I look tired, but I just read that in one sitting. I'm too tired at the moment. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow. Okay, so last night I finished The Christmas Tree Farm. I literally just read it in one sitting. It was a very easy read. The spice didn't quite hit for me. It was a bit, I think after following the spice from How My Neighbour Stole Christmas, The spice was a bit meh. The story was really cute, although it was, I think I said last night, it is a bit insta-lovey. Like, they're pretty much obsessed with each other off the bat. It was a really nice Christmassy book, and it was set over Christmas. Now we are moving on. We're going to be reading The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score. I also downloaded it onto my Kindle because sometimes I just find it easier reading on my Kindle. I have actually been reading quite a lot this month, and I actually really put it down to Fable. So the Fable app, I've started properly using it in the past, like, actually not even as much as that, maybe the past like few weeks I've really been starting to use the Fable app more. If you want to follow me, the same handle as my Instagram and my TikTok. But I put a widget on my home screen, but right here, and it's like a streak. It's like doing a streak on, I guess, Snapchat or something like that. You want to keep up your streak of reading every day, so I just make sure that I read every day because it's literally sitting on my home screen telling me to read. I feel like that has really been helping. I'm on a 13-day reading streak. Even if it's just a chapter or two in the day, I just like to make sure I'm getting some reading in, and it actually makes me want to read more because when I read a chapter or two, I want to continue reading later on. So I've actually been reading quite a lot, and I kind of put it up to this. It kind of puts you in competition with yourself. So The Christmas Tree Fix is about a single dad, Noah, and a TV star, Catalina, who comes to Noah's small town and is going to be filming a reality TV show. I'm looking forward to this. Let's see how many pages this is. 374. It's almost the exact same amount of pages as The Christmas Tree Farm. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really enjoying the Christmassy vibes so far. It's really getting me in the spirit. I'm actually not sure what I'm going to read after this one, if I want to do another Christmas book. 3 Christmas books in a row is quite a lot. We'll see how many we can get through this week. We are currently back in the same position as last night, but we're going to read The Christmas Fix. I had every intention of starting this earlier on in the day, but the day got away with me. So here we are. Hey Google, turn living room light white. Much better. So the main male character is basically kind of like the mayor of this town who has been destroyed by a storm and is all flooded. The female main character, Catalina, is a reality TV show host and producer, and she does like renovations, so she's trying to convince him that she should come and help him rebuild the town after the devastation in time for Christmas. We are back again. Last night you saw I switched to my Kindle right before I went to bed, and I managed to get to 50% through the book. Here we are. Also, do you like my bookmark? My mum crocheted it for me. So I'm on chapter 25. I'm actually really enjoying it. I really enjoy the concept of this book. It's not like true enemies to lovers. It's more like kind of reluctant allies to lovers. Kind of more like Grumpy Sunshine, really. He's very grumpy. She's pretty sunshine. I'm going to make a coffee and then I'm going to continue on with this. It's been a bit of time, but I have my coffee. Yes, I have an iced coffee in this mug because it's Christmas. And I really like this mug, but I'm not a fan of in the house hot coffee. I'm also going to sit and try and finish this. How long does my Kindle say I've got left? My Kindle says I have 3 hours left. I really hope that's not the case. I feel like I've got 100 and maybe 80 pages left. Well, I finally finished The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. I heard mixed reviews about this one on my comments, but I really enjoyed it. I really loved the premise of it, and I really liked both of the characters. I'm just a sucker for a grumpy man. It's much later now, if you couldn't tell. It's super dark here. It is now 5:45 at night, and I've decided I'm going to pick up novellas next. I think tomorrow's going to be my last day. So I've got 2 novellas that I've downloaded, and it's a high chance that I might finish one tonight, so I thought I would just jump on and tell you about it. I have downloaded Christmas at Chestnut Springs. Yes, you heard me correctly. If you're anything like me and you were obsessed with the Chestnut Springs series, I don't know when this came out. If you go onto Elsie Silver's website, you scroll down to the bottom, there's like bonus material. Click on that and there's loads of other extra things on there, but there's a Christmas novella. So I sent it to my Kindle and I'm so excited. There's only about 5 chapters and it's highly likely that I might finish it tonight. And then I also downloaded another novella, which I think it's just came out this year. There's like a set of them, but I've heard like the Ali Hazelwood one is the best one, and I love Ali Hazelwood, so it's Cruel Winter with You. I'm gonna read that tomorrow, and I think that's it. Good morning, it is the next day. I finished A Christmas at Chestnut Springs, and it was the most perfect thing that I've ever read. It literally took me about 20 minutes to read. There's only 5 chapters and it follows all of the boys, so 1 chapter per boy of Chestnut Springs, and it was perfection. It basically just followed their Christmas day and it was filled with all the shenanigans that you would expect in Chestnut Springs, and it just made me so happy. Now I'm going to read another novella. I've downloaded Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood. It's part of an entire collection, like loads of different authors did one novella. However, I've heard the other ones are like not great, so I'm just going to stick with the Ali Hazelwood one because Ali Hazelwood can technically do no wrong. I'm going out for lunch, hence the reason I'm so dressed up. I'm going to see if I can get it finished before I leave. It's 73 pages, so let's hope I can get this done. I need to leave in about 50 minutes, so let's see what we can do. Okay, I'm about 50% through now. I wasn't expecting like a whole backstory of their entire relationship prior to this point in a novella, but that's what we're getting. We're now back at the current time, and I need to go shortly, so I'm gonna have to finish it when I get back. We're gonna get this finished today, people. We're going to get this finished today. Just giving this little girl cuddles because I had to leave her in to go for lunch. Oh, Mummy, sorry. Mummy, sorry. So we went to lunch at the garden centre. Wow, I'm so stuffed. It's time. We're finishing this Christmas book today. Well, we have done it. We've officially read, let me check, we've read 3 Christmas romance books and 2 Christmas romance novellas. I just finished Cruel Winter with You, and honestly, I thought it was actually really good. I thought the pacing was very well. I wasn't expecting to get like a whole backstory of like their relationship when they were growing up, and I thought it wasn't rushed. Could I have done with more? Probably. I would have liked it if it was a longer book. I would like to see a bit more of those 2. Let's talk about how I would rank them. Recap on what we read. We read How My Neighbour Stole Christmas, we read The Christmas Tree Farm, we read The Christmas Fix, and we read Christmas at Chestnut Springs, and finally Cruel Winter with You. If I was going to rank them, let's go from the bottom to the top. So the very bottom of the list, I'm probably going to have to say A Christmas Tree Farm. I didn't really vibe with that one, honestly. I felt it was very insta-lovey, and my friend was also reading it as well, and she said that they barely interacted before they got together, which is true. In 4th place, I would probably put Cruel Winter with You, only because I feel like I needed more. I needed more of the characters. I get it's a novella, so it's pretty short anyway, but I did overall enjoy the story. In 3rd place, I'm going to put The Christmas Fix. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I really loved the concept with the whole saving the town with the whole renovation program. I was just imagining like that extreme makeovers program. It was definitely Grumpy Sunshine, which I loved. In 2nd place, it has to be Christmas at Chestnut Springs. I felt so nostalgic when I was reading that. I loved seeing all the characters again, all my boys, all my Eton boys, everyone. I just
loved it, and it just made me so nostalgic, so I feel like I'm a little bit biased towards that one because I really love my Chestnut Springs. And then in first place, that leaves How My Neighbour Stole Christmas. Honestly, once I read this first, really nothing was going to beat it. It was so funny, it was really well written and executed to give the kind of Grinch vibes. It was proper like enemies to lovers, like those two, like the back and forth between them was so funny, so cruel sometimes, but it was actually such a good book, and I could totally see that like as like a Christmas movie. I would not be surprised if Netflix or Amazon Prime or something like that picked up that book to be a Christmas movie next year because it was so good. So that is everything for the reading vlog this week. I really enjoyed filming this. It was quite a lot because I was reading on and off for the entire week, but I really hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.